A virtual wine tasting is a wine tasting where you receive the wine in advance. You may also receive some food pairing recommendations, and then in a group setting, either on Zoom or through another format, you would taste the wine. You would be guided through a tasting where the sommelier or the wine expert would talk to you about the different senses that are activated as you taste wine. Now, that can include looking at the wine as you swirl it, looking at the legs that come down, actually smelling the wine. You know, what scents do you smell? Is it peach blossom? Is it leather? Is it oak? And they help you understand what you're smelling, and then tasting the wine, but not taking a big gulp, not throwing it back, but actually tasting the different flavors in the wine and putting that all together so that you really understand what you like, if you like a wine, what you like about it, what you don't like about it, and then you can compare the wines. Wine tastings usually, virtual wine tastings usually take between 15 and 20 minutes. And so if we were to have a virtual Corks with Cade, we would of course have the tastings where the wines would be delivered in advance, or a very small group of people perhaps could go to one place and do the tasting together, depending on what's allowed with the COVID recommendations. And we would also have live music, and we may even have a challenge or some things that participants could do while they were participating. So in total, the event would probably be between 1 hour and 2 hours, but the actual tasting portion would be 15 to 20 minutes, and maybe we could have several tastings so that different groups could taste at different times. There would be the opportunity to interact directly with the sommelier, to ask questions, to engage with others who were in the tasting, and also to just experience that together, even if we have to be separated due to COVID-19. I actually did a tasting recently, and I'm going to share a couple of pictures of my tasting. So I'm going to share a couple of images from my wine tasting that I experienced. So I went to actually the Hidden Hills Farm and Vineyard, and was able to pick up my samples or my tasting kit from Hidden Hills Farm and Vineyard, which is a great vineyard not too far from me. And the kit included 4 samples of wine. Wine pours for tastings are usually 2 ounces. And this vineyard's kit included 5-ounce tastings. So there were 4 of them, and they were 5 ounces each. It also included a written description of all of the wines that I would be tasting, and a price list in case I wanted to go back and purchase full bottles of any of them. It was packaged, and it wasn't in the beautiful packaging that you usually see at wine stores. It was packaged very simply, but we did have the option of going through the Zoom tasting with the sommelier, or kind of self-navigating, and my husband and I chose to do it on our own using the descriptions that were provided. And this is just one of the bottles, the 5-ounce bottles that we tasted together, where again we talked about what it looked like. We poured it into our wine glasses, approximately 2 ounces, swirled it around, looked at the legs coming down, and the sommelier would talk about that. We smelled it to see kind of what the scents were. We tasted it just a little bit in our mouth, enough to coat the surface of our mouth to see the different things that we tasted, and then we put all that together to compare and contrast the different flavors and the different tastes for the wines that we experience. So thank you so much. And now I'd ask if you would please fill out the survey to let us know what you think about a wine tasting, a virtual wine tasting this year, instead of the in-person wine tasting that we've had in the past. And we would be doing this virtual option because with the COVID-19 restrictions, it may be difficult or not allowed for us to have a large group of people gather for a wine tasting. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day.